Hi! Today I just kind of wanted to do a bit of a reaction video to the video that I most recently published, the carnitas. This will kind of be behind the scenes, a little bit of the technique and ingredients. Let's get started. Okay, so just want to go back here real quick, see that again. So this right here, that is going to be our Boston buck or pork shoulder. It's a pretty tough piece of meat. So the idea here is that we're going to braise it, cook it in a broth for a couple hours. What we really want to do is get those muscle fibers to relax and release. There's a lot of connectivity tissue in here. This piece of meat is a part of the animal where it does a lot of work, and so it built up a lot of those connectivity tissues. Gets pretty tough. Really flavorful piece of meat. I do love this, but yeah, it's going to take some care and some love to get this to where we want it. So over here we have red pepper, onion, garlic, some lime, jalapeno pepper, avocado, tomato. A lot of these are just toppings. Some of these we are putting in our braising liquid, like the jalapeno, putting some garlic in here, obviously. This mix of spices, let's see, what do we do? Smoked paprika, black pepper, this is chili powder, cumin, salt. This is going to be chicken broth. I also put in just a little bit, this is anchovy paste. It's not enough to really make it taste fishy or anything, but it's going to really boost up the umami. Here we have, this is actually Italian parsley. I'm subbing this for cilantro. I'm not a fan of cilantro. I've got that gene that makes it taste like soap and metal. So that's fun. And then over here we've got some radishes. Again, these are just for topping. Cotija cheese, tortillas. I've got flour, corn, and orange juice for our braising liquid. These are kind of a pain to slice up. That bone is a little bit difficult to work around with. You can just braise the whole thing. That's probably going to take closer to 6 to 8 hours. What you didn't see me doing there is I did trim off a lot of the fat. Still left some of it, but especially those big pieces of the fat cap. We just went ahead and took those off. Here I'm just mixing in my salt with the rest of my spice mix. I think we have some oregano in there too. Is that what we've got on top? I think that's what that is. I use a lot of dried spices. I prefer fresh when you can get them. I just don't usually have them on hand. Kind of mix that up nice and good. And here we want to start searing everything. This is going to help build up our flavors. So when we actually go to braise it, instead of just kind of stewing in raw pork, we've got a lot of that Maillard reaction going on. It's going to bring out a lot more depth, a lot more flavor. I can't stand that smell of pork when you just kind of steam it. You put it in a slow cooker, and it's just like that piece of pork itself with no sear or anything, and it just kind of smells, I don't know, I kind of pretend like it smells like decay, and I don't like that. But searing your meat is definitely going a long way in helping that build your flavors. Get away from that. I'm probably kind of weird in that, so that's probably just me, but this is still definitely a step that you're going to want to take. So I reorganized this in kind of more the order that you're actually going to want to cook this in, just for shooting purposes, so that we're not moving cameras, tearing down lights, putting up lights. We have actually just barely finished slicing up our pork, and it is just sitting on a container on our side, waiting for me to sear this up. But if normally when I was making this dish, I would definitely start searing the pork, kind of multitask a little bit, start getting my veggies going, get these diced up. And so this kind of goes to more of a behind the scenes. But instead of actually taking this clip and editing it in After Effects to do a full wipe, I just kind of adjusted the transparency. I think it works. I need to play around with After Effects a little bit more. Last time I put something in After Effects, it completely broke. It completely broke Adobe Premiere, and I could not render anything. It was a super pain to edit after that. But yeah, this worked. It was quick and dirty. I like that transition right there. Put a lot of garlic in this, so it's really good. I like garlic. I'm just letting those other veggies sweat. Again, while I'm chopping these up. I wanted to keep some of the intensity of the jalapeno since there was just one, so I did put the seeds in there. And we're not really going to keep the braise anyway, so they're not going to really add any of that woody pulpiness. Here I am deglazing the pan here with the orange juice, getting all those little brown bits of goodness off the bottom. And here I'm dropping in my this is the chicken stock. So I didn't want the chicken stock to be melting on me before I needed it. So I put it in this bowl and then put it back in the freezer, and then all of the cubes decided to stick back up into the bowl. And so kind of had a difficult time getting it out of the bowl. So we just kind of cut this scene a little bit short. Love how the steam swirls up in this one right here. So these are mostly just for the toppings. The red pepper, so this tomato right here, this is a hothouse tomato. This tomato left a lot to be wanting. So I actually did end up putting a little bit of that red pepper into the pico to kind of make up for the tomato. And that did really well. I subbed a scallion here. Usually I'll just use some sort of a purple onion, but I had a scallion on hand that needed to go. Oh, this drives me nuts. I don't know why I did this. When you're slicing your citrus fruits to be juiced, typically you want to go equatorially instead of, here's the camera, instead of axially. It worked. It's not a big deal. But every time that I've seen this since that I've edited it, it's kind of been driving me crazy. And if you look at this long enough and you're like, wow, your hands look really awkward, I want you to know I did that for you. When I'm holding it with this hand and this hand, and the way I'm facing the camera, my hand is in the way, and you're not able to see any of the lime juice coming off. So yeah, just went ahead and kind of switched up the hands, made it really awkward, and then did the other half normally because it was a lot more comfortable that way. I'm just gonna mix all those up. So here I'm shredding it. So again, if you did do the whole pork shoulder, you would just shred it here. You wouldn't actually have to worry about dicing it into little pieces. I kind of like it a little bit chunkier, so I enjoy doing this method more. Shredding is really good, but yeah, it's up to you if you want to do the whole thing and wait a couple hours. It's going to take a little bit longer. Here I'm just taking everything and we are searing it. This is just a cast iron griddle, nothing special. What this is going to do, this is going to build a little bit of the flavor like it did before, but mostly what I'm doing here is just building up the texture. I want some of those crispy bits here. Got this nice little after shot that pans the opposite way from where the ingredients are coming. I thought that was kind of neat. Don't know if it's really noticeable. While this on, I talked to my friend that lived in Argentina and also Mexico, and I was like, "Did I do okay here? Is this weird?" And she's like, "Yeah, that's definitely some white people toppings, but it looks good, and I enjoyed it, so that's really all that matters." Tortilla cheese, and pull out in that after shot. Beans and rice were pretty simple. Just soaked the beans overnight, did them up in my pressure cooker, and then rice saved it then in the pressure cooker as well. Added a little bit of lime juice and the Italian parsley since we didn't do any cilantro. So yeah, pretty good. Thanks for watching.